constitutional amendment. So I'd like to move that you give us more notice than that, and that because when you don't have a timeline, the year passes. I'd like to move that on or before 30th of June 2020, the formal motion to make this constitutional amendment is put through by EXCO and or Representative Council and circulated to the members of LIASA.
Thank you, Leila. There is a motion on the floor, or not a motion on the floor, a proposal on the floor. Could we have a seconder, please? Thank you very much. I see several hands up. EXCO accepts this challenge, and we will then, as is required by the Constitution, liaise appropriately with RIPCO to obtain that permission, that go ahead to submit that motion. And we undertake further, we're having a RIPCO meeting tomorrow to discuss this matter, and we will ask RIPCO that by the next meeting in February, that these discussions have taken place in the branches. In order for us to move towards that motion, we have to have information. And therefore, Leila, am I interpreting properly that your motion then gives us the opportunity to investigate the feasibility and viability of this model that we are proposing?
My proposal is saying exactly that. My proposal is putting you on terms to say that you do this very quickly. And if you're saying you have a REPCO in February, then by the February REPCO, those representatives who are on that REPCO need to come to you with what their branches and their interest groups feed to them, so that you get your firm proposal together on or before the 30th of June 2020.
Thank you very much. We understand clearly. In terms of process, are there any objections? Are there any counter proposals? Thank you very much. Colleagues, this is the end of the President's report. May I please call for discussion on the President's report, following which I also call for the adoption of the President's report. Yes. Are there any points? Would anyone like to discuss any of the matters? Yes, sir, you are recognized. Can you come into the light? It's actually not a sir, it's Cookie. Hello, Cookie.
President, in moving forward, I would also like you to report on how many professional members we have every year. And then I would also like you that an analysis be done about who attends the conference, because the statement was made that it's not possible for the school librarians to attend. And in my analysis that I did last year, it actually showed that between the public library sector and the higher education sector, they're more or less equally representative. But exactly the sector that we want to grow, there weren't even 20 people of the basic education teacher level that attended the conference. So we're actually excluding them in terms of the time that we have the conference, and that we maybe just also look at that. In your report then, do an analysis of who attends. Thank you.
Thank you, noted. Any further points for discussion? If not, may I please have a proposal to accept, to adopt the President's report? Do you want to say something, or is that your agreement?
No, I want to say something.
Thank you very much. Noted. Seconded, please.
No, I want to say something.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, colleagues. We now move on to the Treasurer's report. What's going on? Kotko, you were not moving. You were flashing your card at me. Okay.
Mr. President, yo. President, Tatu Robert proposed that we must not compromise the quality and professionalism of the conference in terms of the venue or preparation and everything. And I believe it's not only 3 provinces that are having on the resources of Cape Town, Durban, and Gauteng. So even if we don't compromise the quality and everything, there are provinces that can host the conference, not only the 3 of the provinces that have in the ICC. What is about that on attending the conference?
We undertook to do a further conference investigation, so your input is noted. Thank you. Now, are there any more questions, or may I move for the adoption of the President's report? Okay. Do you want to say something, or are you moving for the adoption of the President's report? Thank you, Shanitha. May we have a seconder to that proposal, please? I see many hands noted with appreciation. Thank you, everyone. Time for the Treasurer's report.
Good afternoon, colleagues. The next item on the agenda is the annual financial statements. The audited annual financial statements. I want to indicate that it is not a standard practice for this to be not circulated at least a month before. We had challenges, and I would like to, on behalf of EXCO and Rep Council, to apologize for that. We have already also put the statements on the website, so we would also be able to take engagements even after this process. I'm happy to announce that if you look at our auditors' exceptional auditing solutions, have looked at our books, and we got the clean audit as usual. The next is I hope we have circulated that, and I want to request that if there are no issues based on the report circulated or questions, we adopt the audited financial statement. Yeah, maybe sometimes we can also go through page by page on
Colleagues, if anyone wants to make a comment, you're invited to address the committee, to address the floor at the 2 standing mics down the two middle aisles, please.
There are two. Just like
And if we don't see you, don't wait to be recognized. Please make your way to the mic. And if there's somebody there, just wait in line. Charlie?
Unfortunately for us, it's challenging because of disability to come to the front. Just one question for me. It's a question of the jump on the accounting fees from the 2017 to 2019. It's almost over around 20%, more than almost 40%. How this is done? I mean, maybe I would bundle it with our practice, because even with the conference organizers, are we getting value for money? Are we ever, in terms of supply chain principles, normally you need to compare. If we are going to spend a certain amount of money above a certain threshold, you need to at least request for quotation so that you can see that you are getting value for money. Are we doing that as an association? Because I'm just worried where we find ourselves with one service provider for 15 years without evaluating or comparing the value for money. Thank you.
Your questions, your comments are noted. Thank you. Are there any more questions? Do we need to go through the financial statements by page? We're going to give you 2 minutes. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I was just indicating it appears there are no comments, there are no requests for us to proceed with the statement page by page. But maybe on the very same issue Charlie raised, when we tried to